One morning, a woman looks in the mirror and quietly realizes it's not just the lines on her face that have changed. It's the meaning in her eyes. She once wanted to look young. Now she just wants to feel at peace. She used to dress, speak, and live to earn approval from others. Now she's learning how to be graceful even in silence. Because growing up isn't about losing anything, it's about accepting. After a certain point, a woman doesn't just want to be noticed anymore. She wants to be felt. For her, elegance isn't found in makeup, but in the way she carries herself. Beauty doesn't live in her skin, but in the warmth of her voice. And she finally understands that real charm isn't about hiding who she is, but about never being ashamed of it. As time passes, the reflection in the mirror changes. But the light in the soul never fades. Now she knows beauty isn't luck. It's a decision. When you choose gratitude instead of complaint, when you stop rushing and take a breath, when you love yourself instead of waiting to be loved, everything changes. Because peace comes when you move with time, not against it. There's wisdom in every scar, every lesson, every quiet moment that life gives you. And that wisdom carries a beauty far deeper than any youthful glow could ever offer. Now, write this in the comments. Grace is my choice. Write it, because the moment you do, you'll start to feel like the owner of your life, not its victim. You might feel broken, you might be tired, but you still choose grace, because you are now a woman who walks with awareness, not anger, with calm strength, not fear. As you write each letter, you'll remember the promise you once made to yourself. I'm still here. Still strong. Still beautiful. If you're ready, let's begin. First, stop complaining and be thankful for one small thing each day. Throughout her life, a woman wants so many things to be perfect. She wants people to behave right, to be loved, to be understood, to be seen as she deserves. But as she grows older, she learns life isn't perfectly fair to anyone. Complaining makes pain grow. Gratitude makes wounds heal. Because our energy shapes itself around where we direct it. Complaining keeps us chained to the past. Gratitude lets us walk freely into the future. True grace isn't about changing life's events. It's about changing how we see them. Being thankful isn't always easy. Sometimes it's as hard as smiling in the middle of a storm. But it's in those exact moments that real strength shows itself. A strong woman isn't the one who's grateful only when things go right. She's the one who still finds gratitude when everything is falling apart. She knows that thankfulness isn't surrender. It's a declaration, a quiet and noble way of saying, "You didn't break me." Every morning, when she looks in the mirror, what shines is not the lines on her face, but the flutter of a grateful heart. A woman who complains slowly dims her own light. Every bitter word she repeats echoes through her mind and suffocates her peace. But a woman who gives thanks changes her entire frequency. She stops focusing on problems and starts seeing possibilities. Not what she lacks, but what she already has. And that awareness rejuvenates her more than any cream ever could. Because beauty doesn't start on the skin. It begins in the mind. The beauty of an older woman is the calm that comes with experience. She understands that happiness isn't a result. It's a decision. There are 100 reasons to be upset every day, but being thankful for one small thing can change everything. A grateful woman becomes a quiet but unstoppable force. Even when life hits her hard, she can still whisper, "I'm glad I'm still here." That simple truth is the noblest form of grace. As she gives thanks, her inner light grows brighter because gratitude is how the heart reconnects. Time may bring losses, heartbreaks, and disappointments, but gratitude keeps the heart wide open. Eventually, she realizes that youth is a season, but gratitude is eternal. A woman who is thankful doesn't fight against time. She moves with it. In the end, you see that complaining ages you, while gratitude cleanses you. Life isn't just what happens to you. It's how you choose to see it. The moment you stop complaining and start giving thanks, not only your soul, but your face begins to change. From that point on, you're no longer just beautiful, you're wise. Grace is the art of becoming softer without breaking. And by the way, if you enjoyed this message, remember to subscribe. It helps me more than you know. Next, soften your voice, but keep strength in your words. As a woman matures, she understands that voice is more than sound. It's energy. Every time you raise it in anger, you drain yourself first. But quiet determination or a gentle tone can be just as powerful. You once wanted people to hear your voice. Now you want them to feel your message even in silence, because a wise woman knows. Shouting never proves you're right. Even with a calm voice, you can move mountains. With time, you see that controlling your voice means mastering your emotions. You begin to respond instead of react, to stay mindful instead of angry. Speaking softly is not weakness. It's a reflection of deep strength. It earns respect without force. True power lies in calmness. When you can command attention without raising your voice, you've reached the highest form of grace. A woman's voice carries the echoes of her journey. When you're young, your words rush, eager to prove themselves. As you age, they slow down, become thoughtful, full of meaning. Each word becomes intentional. People don't just listen to what you say. They feel who you are through how you say it. Speaking softly doesn't make you small. It makes you powerful. Real elegance is the ability to be effective without shouting. The quiet strength behind your eyes, your tone, your presence. That's what earns respect. You don't need volume to be taken seriously. Just keep the calm in your eyes. A calm woman stays balanced even in chaos. This awareness transforms relationships and work alike. In every argument, it's not the loudest voice that wins. It's the calmest. People respond to your spirit, not your volume. When your tone softens, others lower their defenses. That's how you reach hearts. You become the woman who manages her emotions and spreads peace with her words. In time, you see that elegance isn't a look. It's a vibration. Speaking softly is not weakness, it's confidence. Because shouting comes from fear, but calm comes from strength. Your voice becomes a safe place, full of respect, kindness, and wisdom. And most beautifully, your voice no longer tries to convince anyone. It exists only to protect your inner peace. And then comes another kind of beauty. Not being afraid to look natural, to glow from within instead of covering up. Once, when you looked in the mirror, you saw only a face, a frame, a surface. In youth, you had every flaw, chased every ideal. But one day, you realized beauty begins not with hiding, but with showing who you really are. Now, the lines on your face no longer bother you. Each one holds a story, a memory, a lesson. Your beauty isn't built from cosmetics, but from the weight of everything you've lived through. That depth makes you radiant. Being natural takes courage. The world has told you for years that you must be flawless. But now you know, people aren't drawn to perfection. They're drawn to truth. The tiny lines near your eyes, the softness under them, the wrinkles that form when you smile. These don't make you less beautiful. They make you human. True beauty doesn't begin in the mirror, but in the soul. And when the soul feels calm, the face begins to shine on its own. Radiance from within is a deeper art than makeup, because no product can fake a peaceful heart. But when you feel content, your eyes glow, your tone softens, and your posture becomes effortlessly graceful. As she grows older, a woman learns that beauty isn't about attracting attention anymore. It's about giving peace. When she accepts herself fully, her skin glows, her breath becomes light, and her presence comforts everyone around her. Beauty stops being the goal, it becomes the side effect. The moment you start loving yourself, everything shifts. You no longer seek the mirror's approval. It finally reflects it back. You stop judging the woman staring at you and start embracing her completely with all her experiences. Being natural isn't just about appearance. It's emotional too. You stop pretending. You stop performing. You stop needing to prove anything. You simply show what you feel. And as the masks fall away, what remains is something far more powerful, quiet, clear, and beautifully human. That's exactly why people are drawn to you. In a time when so much feels fake, being real has become the most magnetic thing of all. And one day, you notice it's no longer your makeup that catches attention, but your presence itself. You leave a mark without saying a word. Your smile brings calm to others. Your authenticity becomes your jewelry, your aura, your scent, because true elegance begins when a woman is at peace with herself. You stop hiding, you start shining. You create your own way, following grace instead of fashion. At some point, every woman realizes chasing trends is really chasing approval. Seasons change, shop windows change, and it becomes exhausting. No dress can beautify a lost soul. A mature woman understands that style starts not with clothes, but with how she stands. Elegance isn't in labels, it's in energy. Finding your own style is wisdom collected through the years. You no longer ask who you should be, but who you want to be. You wear your colors, your tone, your smile, even your silence, in a language that belongs only to you. Fashion fades, but your attitude stays. And that attitude becomes a quiet signature you leave on people's hearts. Simple, unforgettable. Elegance isn't about getting attention, it's about leaving an impression. A mature woman doesn't dress to be seen, she dresses to be felt. She carries herself without hiding, without exaggeration, because she knows elegance is born from self-respect. Whatever she wears, her energy seeps into it. That's why even a plain white shirt gains character on her shoulders. Having style is a kind of silence. A woman who truly knows herself doesn't shout to be noticed. She simply exists. And her presence speaks louder than words. Elegance shows itself even in simplicity, like a flower without scent but impossible to forget. Your style no longer lives in your clothes, but in your walk, your voice, your eyes. If you're asking, what is my style? You'll find it here, because true style is inner maturity, a reflection of your journey. Every detail whispers, this is me. When you look in the mirror in the morning, smile gently at yourself. There comes a day when a woman gets tired of seeing the mirror as an enemy. In her youth, she saw flaws. Now she sees a story, lines under her eyes, traces of laughter, echoes of pain. All of them are proof she has lived, endured, grown. That woman in the reflection is not flawed. She's alive. She's strong. She's real. Smiling at yourself is the most graceful way to accept this truth. It's a small gesture, but a brave choice. The choice to say, today, I will be kind to myself. The woman who smiled for others for years now finally smiles for herself. Those lines on her face aren't reminders of age. They're maps of experience. She no longer hides them, she honors them. Each morning, this moment brings her back home to herself. The mirror no longer says, I'm aging. It says, I'm evolving. Grace is not denying time, but making peace with it. That morning smile is a promise. I will not forget myself. Over time, you realize smiling at yourself is forgiveness for your past impatience, your mistakes, your anger. That smile melts everything away and sets you free. Every time you look in the mirror, you embrace not only who you are now, but who you've been. This is quiet strength, the simplest form of inner peace. Because elegance doesn't start with appearance, it starts with your relationship to your own reflection. That morning smile lasts longer than any makeup, feels deeper than any perfume. When a woman learns to smile at herself with kindness, she stops needing anyone's approval. That's when she discovers beauty was within her all along. A woman spends years being judged. Too strong, too soft, too quiet, too much. Everyone has an opinion, And somewhere along the way, her own voice gets drowned. What hurts most isn't what they say. It's believing what they say. One day, you decide enough. Your value isn't given from the outside, it's remembered from within. Maturity is walking even when no one claps. When you tie your worth to others' opinions, you rise with their praise and fall with their silence. But when you know your worth, you stay balanced through both. You hear your own voice. You trust it. You follow it. True freedom is not needing anyone's approval. Knowing your worth isn't arrogance. It's respect. You know the storms you've faced, the pain you've survived, the courage it took to stand again. You no longer need anyone to call you. Enough. You already are. You were just searching for completion in the wrong places. Now, it's not about proving yourself. It's about being yourself. A woman's power isn't in how loudly she speaks, but in how firmly she stands. She doesn't demand attention, she earns peace. She brings quiet confidence into every room because she knows waiting for approval chains the soul. And self-acceptance sets it free. This awareness changes everything, even relationships. You no longer twist yourself to be loved or silence yourself to be accepted. The wrong people fade away, the real ones remain. When you know your worth, everyone's mask falls. You begin to feel who gives peace and who takes it away. And finally, you see, true elegance begins the moment you stop seeking approval. Because elegance is not saying, "Notice me," but quietly knowing, "I am enough." Your beauty doesn't depend on what others think. It lives in how you treat yourself. Keep your head high even when no one applauds. That's grace. Surround yourself with women who feed your soul. Leave behind those who drain it. A woman's life mirrors the people around her. You start to see. Some lift you higher, others slowly dim your light. When you're young, you want to please everyone, belong everywhere, be liked by all. But with time, you learn not everyone deserves a place beside you. Some friendships are just noise, and silence feels kinder. The women who truly nourish your soul never compete or compare. They don't judge. They listen, support, and celebrate your light. Talking to them feels like a breath of peace, a kind of healing. Even a short coffee together can ease your heart. Toxic spaces do the opposite. They drain your energy, steal your calm, and blur your joy. So you step away, not out of pride, but self-respect. Distance is not loneliness, it's protection. Sometimes grace is simply choosing silence instead of reaction. A mature woman knows depth matters more than numbers. Two genuine friends are worth more than a crowd. Conversations that don't feed your spirit only cloud it. You start valuing sincerity, energy, and truth in every exchange. Who you sit with shapes who you become. Loneliness no longer scares you because now solitude feels like peace. You used to get lost in crowds, now you find yourself in quiet. Friendship is rare but deep, a meeting of souls that understand without words. Not everyone deserves access to your heart, and that's not selfishness, it's wisdom. One day, you look around and realize your circle is small but strong, full of women who see you, support you, and don't judge. There's no drama left, only harmony, because an elegant woman chooses her company carefully. And that choice becomes the most unseen, yet powerful, part of her beauty. Look toward the future with curiosity, not fear. As time goes on, you learn that fear builds no future. You spent years asking, what if it doesn't work? Now you whisper, what if it does? Fear freezes, curiosity moves. The future isn't a threat, it's an invitation. Each morning, life calls you again. Facing your fears doesn't happen overnight, but when you recognize them, they start to fade. Uncertainty no longer frightens you, because you've already survived worse. You've been through storms and still found your way back. So the road ahead no longer scares you. It feels like an open path, softer, wiser. Curiosity is the heartbeat of youth. People don't stop being curious because they grow old. They grow old because they stop being curious. Learn something new. See a new place. Meet someone new. Stay awake to life. Because the future is not something to fear. It's something to meet with open arms. These moments don't just create memories. They bring life back into people. Curious women keep their hearts alive because they know that real beauty lies in staying open to new experiences. You've learned to live with questions instead of fears. Instead of asking, why me? You now ask, what can I learn from this? You find meaning in every experience, a message in every stop. This new way of seeing things both enlightens and renews you because your focus has shifted from control to acceptance. And that acceptance brings peace to your soul. The future no longer frightens you. It feels like a playground. Each morning when you wake up, you remember that something new is still waiting for you. Maybe laughter, maybe a journey, maybe change. Life still holds surprises for you. You just have to stay open to see them, because fear closes your eyes while curiosity opens them. And if you ever catch yourself thinking, I wonder what's next for me, that's where it all begins. Because a woman who keeps wondering never truly grows old. As you'll see ahead, when you face the future with wonder, it awakens your spirit, remembering your old passions, doing what once made your heart happy, brings you back to life. Sometimes life quietly erases people without them even realizing it. Between daily duties, others' needs, and endless business, you forget what once made your heart flutter. But that spark hasn't left you. It's still there, just covered in dust. You used to love painting, dancing, writing, listening to music, or gardening. Over time, you told yourself those things didn't matter. You put them aside. You silenced that voice. But now it's time to call them back. Because what makes you who you are has always been there. Passion doesn't measure age by years, but by spirit. A woman truly begins to age only when she forgets herself. But when she rediscovers her forgotten passions, her heart takes flight again. Passion is the breath of youth living inside you. So don't be afraid to try again. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Just say, I love this. And do it. Those small joys are food for your soul. With time, you'll see that passions are not decoration, they're a need. Like water, like air, they connect you to life. When you follow your passion, something inside you changes. Your eyes shine brighter. Your voice softens. Your face glows. People notice, but can't quite explain it. Because that change starts deep inside, from the peace that comes with reconnecting to life. Remembering your passions doesn't mean living in the past. It's making peace with it. Each passion carries a piece of your purest self. Bringing them back is bringing yourself back. Maybe you can't do it like you once did. Maybe your hands are slower now, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that the fire is still burning. When a woman begins to create and feel again, she reconnects with life. She no longer needs anyone's approval. She's too busy living her truth. Returning to your passions is redefining yourself. It's finding meaning again. And that meaning brings not youth, but vitality. One day you'll realize all those things that once made you happy are still waiting. The paints, the songs, the books, the garden, they've just been waiting for your return. And when you do, the woman in the mirror changes. She no longer looks tired. She's alive again. Because true elegance is not about losing years. It's about not losing your passion. Learning to say no gracefully, setting boundaries without guilt, is another kind of freedom. When a woman is young, she thinks saying no means being unkind. But as she grows, she learns that saying no is self-respect. Every time she says, okay, when she doesn't mean it, she loses a little of herself. Every time she says, it's fine, she drifts a bit further from who she really is. And one day she no longer recognizes herself. That's when she learns. Not setting boundaries makes you disappear. A graceful no is the beginning of finding yourself again. Saying no doesn't need shouting. It comes from calm clarity. A mature woman knows she doesn't need to raise her voice to stand tall. She no longer seeks approval or bends to please everyone. She realizes that breaking herself to keep others comfortable slowly destroys her spirit. One day, she decides she'll no longer lose herself to keep anyone else. Setting boundaries without guilt is pure freedom. For years, you stayed quiet, endured, swallowed things so others wouldn't be upset. But now it's your turn. Protecting your peace isn't selfish. It's necessary. When you say no, a quiet calm rises within. That silence isn't guilt. It's peace, the peace of finally hearing your own voice. Grace is the power to stop without breaking. It's not a hard wall. It's a clear line saying, I understand you, but I can't be part of this, is respect, both for them and for yourself. Because a graceful woman stays kind even when she's firm. And kindness isn't weakness. It's discipline. Protecting your space is protecting your spirit. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you whole. Life isn't built on endless yeses, but on honest boundaries. Every no opens the door to inner calm. One day, you'll realize you've grown so strong that no one can push you past your limits. That's when your yeses start to mean something. Because now, you say yes only when you truly want to. Your words, your choices, your life, they become real. You fill your days with chosen people and chosen feelings. That is grace, protecting your peace without bitterness. You now stay loyal to your own calm, not to others' comfort. Treat your health with compassion. Don't criticize your body, care for it. When you're young, you see flaws in the mirror. But later you realize those so-called flaws are just signs of life. That body carried you through everything. Joy, pain, love, loss. It's been loyal to you. But how often have you thanked it? Now is the time. Stop judging and start appreciating. That body is your oldest friend. Thank it, don't blame it. Health isn't the key to youth. It's the essence of life. You no longer measure beauty by reflection, but by energy. Resting well, drinking water, walking, breathing. These aren't luxuries. They're promises you owe yourself. Because when a woman cares for her body, she heals her spirit too. Be gentle with yourself. Those lines, scars, or marks, they're proof you've lived. Each one tells a story of growth and change. When you look in the mirror now, say, thank goodness, not I wish. Because life leaves traces, and those traces make you whole. Caring for your health with kindness means giving up the urge to fix or fight your body. Listen to it. Love it. It's not your enemy. It's your guide. It speaks when it's tired, when it's quiet, when it needs rest. You just have to hear it. True beauty begins there. As you age, health becomes less about how you look and more about how you feel. A peaceful heart lights up your face. A calm mind softens your skin. So, look at your body not with judgment, but gratitude. It's your one true home. When you befriend it, it responds with balance and peace. That's when beauty changes meaning. It becomes harmony. And harmony comes not with age, but with awareness. You also learn to find beauty not just in crowds, but in solitude. When you're young, silence feels scary. The noise, the rush, the constant company make you feel alive. But later you realize, the noise doesn't fill you, it distracts you. Growth begins in quiet moments. Silence teaches you who you are. Loneliness isn't punishment, it's a mirror. It shows you your real self, not the version others see. You stop seeking applause from others and begin listening to your own stillness. In that quiet, there's peace. A woman's beauty lies in how she stands alone. It's easy to shine in noise. True grace is shining in silence. Walking alone, sipping coffee by yourself, spending a quiet day, these aren't signs of loneliness. They're signs of self-love. Solitude is the art of enjoying your own presence. In crowds, your voice gets lost. In solitude, it returns. You stop needing approval. You start feeling peace. That peace gives you wisdom, and that wisdom gives you a glow no mirror can show. A woman who finds beauty in being alone isn't needy. She's complete. Her calm gives others confidence because she's not missing anything. She's whole. And one day you realize, crowds are temporary, but your own stillness lasts forever. You are reborn in that silence.